Alright, folks, we're back with another stream. Just making sure the audio works real quick, 1 second. And yeah, we're playing Mario Kart for some reason. And also, Radio Ranger, thank you for being such a good viewer coming after, like, what, 3 weeks we haven't streamed. I made you mod, I think, because why not? You're mod. Yeah, you're mod. Okay, we're gonna play Mario Kart. Hopefully you guys can hear me. And by the way, the characters are not modded. It's just tracks. There's like 500 tracks in this game. It's modded, so we're gonna play. We're gonna see how it goes. Um, and yeah, no audio by the way for the. We're gonna talk about Survivor. So I'm not gonna put any audio on because I know how annoying it is. When when I watch streams that has game audio in the background when nobody cares about the game audio. But we'll talk about the last 3 episodes, and maybe we might even get people from the show like Raccoon, who's in the chat right now for no reason, on to talk. And wait, we're 150cc I guess for now because Mario Kart Wii is not my thing. Okay, we're gonna choose the courses. We're gonna let every car. We're gonna put balance. We're gonna put balanced items, and we're gonna do 32 races. And by the way, for the last 3 episodes, I think the best episode was the Matthew Boot episode. Even though they got medevac, there was no tribal. I think it was the best one because like the other two are just so boring, in my opinion. It's just not good. I don't know what you guys think, but it's just not as good as it could have been. The two, even the merge episode. But I will say the Josh arc was pretty fun to watch. It was a fun arc. And I hope the stream's not laggy. We're playing Mario here. All right, we're gonna play some random tracks. Let's see. What do we have? Um, we'll play. Let's play. Okay. Waluigi's. I don't know what this Waluigi Stadium is. This is a different version. This is not like a normal Mario Kart Wii one. We're gonna play Waluigi Stadium here for some reason. I got Raccoon here in the chat as well. That's something. All right, here we go. Waluigi Stadium. Play Double Dash. I don't have Double Dash. We can play Galaxy though. Galaxy 2 is fun. Okay, this is a unique track. I've never played this one. Waluigi Stadium. Okay, let's try to win. We're playing very hard CPU, but yeah, the episodes like in general. I mean, Carson had his bad moment in the merge episode, which is whatever. And he didn't even get to speak on it after, so I don't know if I'm high on Carson's odds. And has anyone watched Survivor Quebec? No, because I don't speak French. Do they even speak English there, Radio Ranger? I'd like to know that actually. I hope you guys can hear me by the way. I just want to make sure. Oh shoot! Oh, I'm doing terribly right now. I'm doing garbage. I should have played Funky Kong Flame Runner, but nope. I'm playing Wario on a custom cart in this game. By the way, this track is actually good. I died. I fell. I literally died. I'm doing terrible right now. I'm playing like Raccoon does in Mario Kart 8. This is how he plays. But yeah, like Survivor's fine. BB Can is whatever. I'm barely even following the digital dailies. It's not even daily, by the way. It's digital like yearly. That's what it is. Okay, we got Lightning Shock. That's good. But yeah, like Zach was a good character who is unfortunately gone. Santina's probably gone this week, so you're losing two really good characters back to back. It's atrocious. It's laughable what they're doing with the show. Yeah, I can understand some French because, well, but I don't remember any of like French like that much. But like I can't even speak it, but I can pretty much understand what they're saying, I guess. But yeah, honestly, like this season was so hyped up, and honestly, it's not as good as it could be so far. So I really hope there's something epic that happens down the line. Um, I'm curious what you guys think is who's number one in the player ranking or whatever. I'm in first somehow, by the way. So far, like in Survivor 43, the best player was I don't know. I think it's probably Carson at this point, right? Unfortunately. But I mean, he did make his gaff. He did make a really bad move there with Kane. That was atrocious. It was like laughable what happened there. Okay, there you go. That was good. And like Kane is hilarious by the way. I like how Kane just snitched on Carson immediately and literally just said Carson said it. He could have just said my name was thrown out there. I know it. Was it true that happened? But no, he has to throw Carson under the bus for some reason, which is hilarious. Because like at that point, Carson has every motivation to just flip then. And by the way, like the iconic moments of each episode, what The Sarah boot was probably the sticks like Carolyn put, which is funny. Um, Honestly, if I was, I would just say like if she put the sticks there, I would be thinking, okay, well I guess production is like okay um you can't unlock it anymore or something right like that. I don't know, but no, everyone was like, okay, there's an X marked on the beach, and that was actually really creative on Carolyn's part, by the way, really good. Yeah, Carolyn's gonna make it far. The question is she gonna win? I don't think she's gonna win because she doesn't even seem like she has the respect of the people right now in the game. So I don't know how confident I feel about that. Let's pick a different track here. We're gonna go with Honey Hive Galaxy. Let's go with Honey Hive Galaxy. This is based on Mario Galaxy, so I'm excited to see what mod this is. This track. Oh, I think we have 4 viewers by now, which is surprising, by the way. Oh wow, this actually looks really good. This looks really good. I've not played this, but this looks really good. But yeah, Carolyn's in a good position. Even Jam Jam's fine still. Like Jam Jam still is a good shot. Look, I have no idea where I'm supposed to go. I was what? Put an arrow or something, or did I not see the arrow? That was so dumb. Oh, I didn't even see the arrow. There was an arrow. My fault. Where are we going? What is happening? These guys are all just falling off a cliff. I'm barely even drifting. I'm driving like raccoon. Yeah, but like people said that okay, maybe there's a chance that Kane goes far. I don't think after this that Kane is gonna go far. I rewatched like some bits and I refreshed myself, and I don't think Kane's gonna do well. I think he's just gonna be an expendable boot like in the next few rounds, like maybe the next two, three. He's not gonna go to the end, obviously. There's no way, unless we see like an uptick in his content or like actual good stuff. Do you agree with TMR when? Yeah, I think so at this point. It's unfortunate, but it's true. Like, really, the season's been just dwindled down to 3 people at this point, and it's like, okay, which one of these is it? Which I don't mind, honestly. Like, but it's true. Like, you think about everyone else, like Heidi maybe, but no, Matt maybe, but again, like Raccoon's a math truther, a Matt truther. But I disagree with him because, like, again, Matt, he's just like, gonna have his like, good journey and then go down. By the way, I don't know which one's gonna go farther, Franny or Matt. That's gonna be interesting to see. Um, and like why? Why is that person gonna go farther than the other? Is what I'm interested to see. Matt is gonna win, says Raccoon. No, he's not. He's if he wins, Raccoon, I don't even know what this. I'll do anything at that point. Um, and by the way, we might even have Raccoon come on a call if he wants to, even though he's like somewhere right now. Um, yeah, Lauren has gotten no content, and the merge was atrocious. I forgot everything about her. So no, she's not gonna win. Oh my lord! Oh my god, that was hilarious. Okay, yeah, Lauren has gotten like nothing. Even Kane got more stuff, so I'm even higher on Kane than Lauren at this point. Even though Lauren, like Kane at least has like a consistent like story. He's like this hero journey or whatever, and we'll see how that goes for him. And by the way, TMR, I know I don't want to talk about TMR too much because some people don't even know who TMR is. But about TMR, like saying that Josh has a good chance of returning is a joke. Like why do you think Josh has a good chance of returning just because he got good content in like the last few of his episodes? Like they didn't even show him talking or doing anything when he was clearly in trouble on his original tribe, the Soko tribe. So like why would they bring him back when they didn't even use him for then? I'm about to get third place. Oh, there he goes. There he goes, Baby Mario. That guy's done. Yeah, Lauren got no content. And if Franny is blindsided in the next episode, I'll probably be lower on that because it's a bit early, but at any point after that, I think he's the winner. No, he's not gonna win. Like what is there that is proving that he's gonna win? What do I think the twist in the next episode is? He said that someone has no say, right? So I think it's probably gonna be like an idea that people were throwing around is okay, maybe what if it's about like maybe like a do or die sort of or something like that. I don't know. But other people are saying, okay, what if it's you have it's like the rice thing, the wager, right? Like some people have to settle this challenge and then they exchange it for their vote, which I don't think is actually a good twist, by the way. I don't think that's not that good. What the heck is that? What is that drawing? I thought I had to censor the stream for a second with that art. I was like, okay, what is that? I did not expect that. Where are we going? Why did they go this way? That is so confusing. And yeah, Josh's content was all circumstantial. Like like Bradley, kind of like Bradley in a way. where he was like invisible for the first few time like episodes, and then all of a sudden he gets like a spike in content for like the last few of his episodes, and then from that point like his journey completely ends. But yeah, the next episode, the twist. I hope it's not too bad. I hope it's like actually like valid. And by the way, like you know how they do like the island meetups where they all meet up and stuff for like the advantage. The one where they did with Carolyn, Danny, and Brandon, where they just met up and ate lunch, I think is the best iteration of the twist thus far because there's no actual like it kind of makes up for the swap where they get to intermingle before the merge. I think that's what they should have done for every round. Yeah, just no advantage, just them talking. They have the privilege to talk with other people. That in and of itself is an advantage. So I think either one of Matt or Franny makes the finale, but not both. Yeah, that is probably what's gonna happen. By the way, and by the way, Matt seems like he's really in charge of the tribe. Like the way he like carries himself. You watch the merge episode, he seems like he feels like he's in a lot of power. And we got like all of a sudden Danny, who's been getting so much content, or at least was getting good content, like interesting content. All of a sudden he's just invisible, like nothing. It was hilarious. Like why? Yeah, Danny. I don't even know where Danny's gonna go at this point. Is Danny just gonna be like the Shan kind of like a placement around Shan's area? I'm not saying he's like Shan. I'm just saying that maybe place around. Bruh. It's basically the Summit twist in season 33. Yeah, yeah. I like this version of the Summit the best again. Um, and by the way, another funny moment I think is really an iconic moment for Survivor is Josh's fake idol like getting exposed by just getting destroyed by just touching it. It's like laughable. It's like Fix It Felix, but the opposite. You just touch it and it just breaks. It's hilarious. No, I don't think Matt is a losing finalist, but I do think Carolyn could be a losing finalist. Now that I think about it, um, because how is she even gonna be able to express herself to the jury? Like I don't even know how. I mean, I don't think she's gonna be a losing finalist, but I think there's a possibility that. How did I get like fifth? Okay, I see there's a possibility where she like loses or something. Danny is eighth. Yeah. Um, and then obviously the problem with Carolyn is that she's talking about how she could trust Carson 99%. Like why? I think she even said higher, like 99.5 or something like that, which is ridiculous. Like how do you trust this guy? He literally threw you under the bus. Obviously she doesn't know, but like it's obvious not to trust this guy. He's so smarmy in the way he carries himself. And by the way, we haven't talked about Australian Survivor either, but honestly, of the 3 seasons airing, I feel the best about Australia. I like the Australian Survivor a lot this year. It was great so far. I don't know about the next season happening later on, but it's great. Yeah, I agree 100%. Yeah, absolutely agree with you. Australian Survivor is so much better this season. I mean, you have George who's just carrying the season, but without George, obviously it's gonna be pretty bad. But like, and then you lose two people, Bruce and Matthew. Which, by the way, Matthew is definitely gonna come back with Bruce probably next season or something. Um, I don't think that like I think Jeff kind of like in the heat of the moment just kind of said, okay, we're inviting Bruce back, and then he accidentally said that. He didn't want to say that out loud, but he just said it because he can't keep it to himself. And so he probably feels the same about Matthew, by the way, because Matthew did much more, by the way. So I think Matthew's coming back with Bruce, except they just don't want to say Matthew at this point because they don't want to like give away the next season theme, right? Also, another big thing that happened is um, apparently there's like 90-minute episodes gonna like that are gonna happen next season according to Redmond, which is like why. I like that actually, but it's gonna make it harder for people like content creators that are just trying to talk about that show. Like they have to watch that long stuff. Survivor Essay. I don't know much about Survivor Essay, honestly. I've never watched a season. I just know that there's like this good player named Rob Bentile or something like that, and he seems interesting. Like I would watch just for him. And I know about the Adam's idol, which is why he like looked for it right on the podium because that actually happened on the Survivor Essay, which is amazing. And by the way, a good idea for a twist this season is hide the merge idol at tribal council where the chess pieces are at the voting booth. That would be so good. Cause then you can just like make it like blend in or something or like and then have like some aspect of it that pops out. That'd be so creative and fun. Like fans are actually able to make better ideas for the show than um the actual producers can. Like hire some of the fans on even Reddit. I mean, you love Return of the Outcast. Do you want to come on stream and talk about the Return of the Outcast? Super Smash Bros. Brawl Mario Circuit. Let's play this. That is interesting. I'm excited to see this. We're playing Super Smash Bros. Brawl. Oh, okay. So this is the one that the shy guys are driving, right? Yeah, that's what it is. This is gonna be cool. Yeah, like I don't know why. Like production is just so they're just so set in their ways. Which, by the way, I don't mind having the same twist every season. By the way, which is probably an unpopular opinion. Because I like the show being more skill based and luck based, and I feel like just having it to be the same format, everyone can expect what to go in and then be able to play accordingly. Which is also an interesting thing because production is not retiring challenges anymore. Apparently, they like it when their players hack the game, which is something. I feel like 90-minute episodes would have been perfect for Winners of War, but not every newbie season. Yeah, I agree. Like in fact, that was actually the leak, wasn't it? Like the leak was the 90-minute episodes are coming back. Sorry, that are coming for the Winners of War season, but they never happened. So like, why? And then now they're doing it, which is kind of funny because like you think that okay, they want to save money, but they're not by making it 90-minute episodes. Now they got to pay their editors more. Play Dry Bones next game? Yeah, sure I will. I'm learning the tracks as I play them. There's 500 of them in this game. It's ridiculous. And also, like Mario Kart in of itself is like a is the metaphor from Survivor. You can play as good as you can. You can take all the shortcuts and do everything right. But at the end of the day, the only thing that matters is the last stretch. Like you can play as horribly as you want, but as long as you can get to the end, like the only metric to winning Survivor is getting to the end and getting the jury votes. And the debate is just how which way do you go about doing that? That's the only way you look at Survivor. Um, in my opinion, like you can play any way and win. Obviously, there's different ways that are better than others. Like obviously, like yelling at your tribe is not going to win you the game ever. Like most circumstances, sometimes there is. There's always a universe where that happens. You run a million simulations, you can win with any style of game. Dry bones with a baby stroller chart cart. Why would Amazing Race be 9-minute episodes? That's terrible. That is terrible. There's no way that's gonna happen. I don't think so. Amazing Race 90-minute episodes is like watching paint dry at that point. Okay, let's play Dry Bones. And by the way, I think I'm excited for BB25. I hope it's returnees. I hope Cameron's on because it'll be funny. Yeah, Tar is like I would not even mind if Tar is like a 45-minute. Well, actually, it already is 45 minutes, including ads. But like maybe like make it like a 30-minute episode. I would not even care at that point, honestly. Especially since people's attention spans are dropping anyways already. So like, why would anybody even watch that much of the show? Let's make it 16 so we can change characters more frequently. And let's play Dry Bones. Colton would never win. Who's Colton? Colton from Survivor? Like, why are we talking about Colton all of a sudden? Oh, oh yeah, there's a baby stroller. We can you choose a different card though. There's cool ones here. We'll play baby stroller. And yeah, BB Can is honestly I'm more hyped about BB Can surprisingly, even though I'm barely watching it than Survivor. Um, which is weird to say because it's actually good so far. Like it's funny, except that we're losing every good character early on, so the end game is gonna be boring. But like yeah, Kuzi's someone that's being talked about as like this great player, which I disagree with because people are already aware of her ways. Let's play Toy Story Raceway. Toy Story Raceway. We're like Toy Story here. Toy Story on Mario Kart. That's gonna be something. I'm just hoping that none of these tracks have like NSFW on it, because then that would be terrible. This one I've played. This one I've already played, so I know there's not. Obviously, it's Toy Story, so they're not going to be. Okay, Bullet Bill on the first draw. That is amazing. That is laugh. I should have just smuggled it in the first place. Oh yeah, Colton would probably never win, but you can never count someone out fully. If Evil Dick can win Survivor, Big Brother, then who's to say that someone with this style of gameplay can't win Survivor somehow? And I know Evil Dick won a lot because of twists and stuff that helped him, but like still, there might be a season that's cast where people like are all bad players, and then that person can win by just default being the least bad. I'm rooting for John. Yeah, Jonathan's fine. I personally like Zach, honestly, even though I know he's not popular. Like I think he's just an entertaining character, and that's why I like him a lot. Is he was like just so fun, and even outside of the game, he's still entertaining. Like he's just doubling down and stuff, and it's funny to watch. Like, what is the point of Buzz and Woody running around? By the way, they're like not even a hazard at all. It's hilarious. Opinion on the should I? By the way, should I turn up the music a bit on this game? Because I think it'd be fun to like hear a bit like whatever this game is about. He needed America's player. Yeah, he did need America's player. That is true. But again, like I already discounted the fact that there's twists. Like you can still win without it. Where's the best case scenario for him? And yeah, Colton was never gonna win that season, but who knows? He might be able to win a different season. You never know with these people. What the heck happened to Rex? Oh my god. Oh god. Oh god. Okay, I got fooled. Yeah, the item boxes in this game, the fake ones look identical to the real ones. One second. Yeah. Okay. Thoughts on the Challenge 2 USH cast? I actually have to check that real quick because I honestly forgot. Let's see. Like honestly, it's like a bunch of whatever, right? Alyssa Lopez again. Why? Alyssa Snyder. Why? Right? I don't follow the channel, so I don't know some of these people, but I know like who Tori and Johnny Bananas are. Cassidy. Why? Amira. Okay, fine. Chris Underwood is actually good. I actually like that. That's cool. Um, Chanel. Why? Dusty is good, but I liked his friend who went to prison. That was a good story, and I liked that a lot. That was such a good story, by the way. Those two are iconic. Johnny Bananas, okay. Josh Martinez, that's good. I know a lot of people don't like Josh Martinez on the challenge, but I liked him on Big Brother, so why not? Michaela from Survivor. Monty. Why are they putting Monty on the cast? Tiffany again, she's gonna do terrible. Tyler's that's good. I think Tyler he has a good story now. And also I'd like to see if CBS actually acknowledges Tyler and the situation with Tyler and Angela. That'd be hilarious. Alternates are Kayla from Amazing Race. Why again? Hannah and Joseph and Kylan. Wait, why is Kylan an alt? Why is he an alt? And yeah, Bryce does have a better chance than Colton to win because at least like, there's a universe where people take Bryce at the end and then they just vote for him as a joke, right? But yeah, sorry, I'm back to Mario Kart. Back to Mario Kart. Um, yeah, like Cassidy, like whatever, I guess. She's not gonna do good though. Who do you guys think is gonna win the challenge? I can't tell. I honestly can't tell. I don't know why they aren't bringing like Sarah back or something or like Ben. Ben would be actually no Ben. Didn't Ben quit or something? So never mind. And like obviously like half the people in the finale did not like the show and how they handled the finale, right? Because like didn't like Sarah just win by default there, which is funny. Let's see an interesting track. Yoshi's Woolly Raceway. We're gonna play that. Yoshi's Woolly Raceway. But yeah, the challenge is like a good show to have just have going alongside Big Brother in the summer. But I'm not a fan of the show because it's just not like my thing. It's not like too much strategy. It's more so just like challenges and stuff, right? And at best, it's like full of drama. But I don't remember the Challenge USA having that much drama, to be honest. What's the issue with Tori? Isn't she like this really popular? She's like this. What's it called? She appears on like a lot of seasons. Like she's kind of like Casey, but isn't she like entertaining though? Or is it just that she's obnoxiously on every season? That's annoying. Why do I keep getting this item box? It's so annoying. This item box is literally Tori because she just keeps showing up for some reason. Am I right? Oh my god. Yeah, I don't honestly like. So now that I realize it, like, why isn't Desi on the cast? Didn't she get like screwed by Enzo like quitting or something last season or something like that? That was hilarious because of how much Twitter was raging and Enzo had to like apologize or something. That was so funny. I'm surprised that she's not on. Maybe she just refused or something. But honestly, it's surprising how they put on Alyssa. I thought she was really unpopular, like even with production, because she was just so boring. She had nothing. She had offered nothing. Oh yeah, she's like a constant, I guess. Like she's one. Yeah, she's one of those type of things. What about Johnny Bananas? Isn't he like annoying or something, or is he like good? But that Yoshi I just passed, that Yoshi model, the statue, looked like something made on Roblox. Oh, Desi's on the cast. Desiree from Heroes of Hustlers. I would think so too. And by the way, a funny story with from the Survivor Zelda's crew is Bryce was coming home from vacation today and he thought he was gonna die in a plane crash, which is hilarious. Not that he's gonna die, it's just that he thought and he was like melting down in. It was so stupid. This guy. He was like saying his final goodbyes and stuff because he actually thought he was gonna die. Yeah, wasn't Tori also like the from Star 42? Wasn't she also on the cast or something, or what? Like on the short list? And I don't see there's an alternate or actually on the cast, so I don't think she actually made the final set. But I know that she was like rumored or something. And by the way, why isn't Cody from 43 on? That was a nice win, dominant win. Yeah, that's a Bryce. Speaking of Bryce, I would love to have him on right now. It'd be funny to hear his thoughts if he's even watched the show. Oh yeah, by the way, about the Mari movie, if anyone wants me to talk about it, no spoilers. It was good. No spoilers. But it was obviously the story like is something that people would complain about, and I agree. Like there's a better way of writing it. I just got reminded about Mario movie because Bryce was like begging us not to spoil it for him, even though he spoiled Star 42 for the entire chat in another streamer stream. And yeah, Waluigi's Chocolate Factory, Choco Factory. Let's see what happens. Oh yeah I heard that they cut Tori because of Tori from the challenge, and they didn't want people confusing their names or something over something that makes Tori look bad, right? What is this? This doesn't look like Waluigi's Chocolate Factory. We're literally. Oh, we're going inside. Okay. Okay. Let's see what happens. I like the combination of purple and brown. Looks like a Toad's Factory. Toad's Mushroom Factory. This looks good so far. We got a chocolate, like a molten chocolate in the a lake. Where's Waluigi's Taco Factory? Willy Wonka. Yeah, this is Willy Waluigi or something. Waluigi Wonka. Oh, I fell. I thought that was a trick ramp. I didn't even see that. Yeah, they have two Alyssas on the cast, but they can't put Tori Mian on. Like why? It's just funny. Oh yeah, this is definitely Toast Factory here. Yeah, and obviously like the two Alyssas are way more boring than both of the Tories. I would assume. Especially with when you average it out with Alyssa Snyder, it's like why? It's hilarious. And yeah, Jonathan Young should have been on too. What happened with him? Did they just cut him for some reason, or was he even in consideration that we know of? Maybe a POC thing. I don't think it's a POC thing. If it was a POC thing, then like hello, Alyssa, Alyssa Snyder. And really, did they really? It was Alyssa Lopez really? Oh yeah, I think I know why Alyssa was on because wasn't the host what's his name again? I forgot. But he was really high on Alyssa Lopez for some reason. I would like to know the host name. I forgot. I'd actually like to know because I completely forgot the name. Was it like Chris or something? I forgot. The second someone says it, I'm gonna get it instantly and remember. But I forgot his name. Jonathan. No, I don't know. TJ. Oh yeah, TJ. That's good. That is good. Oh my god. What did I just do? TJ Lavin. Thank you for that. But yeah, like so far the shows that are going on right now, like they're fine. BB Can's fine. Survivor's fine. I think Survivor's gonna go on an upward incline. It's gonna go up in the future weeks. I think now we're like kind of at a slow point. We had the Josh arc conclude where we kept thinking he was gonna go home, and then he gets saved by a twist, and then he gets not really a twist, but and I like how when Jeff was like announcing the news to the Tika tribe that Matthew got medevaced or that he just basically quit. He's like, "Oh, this changes history. What was supposed to happen is not." He's trying to resurrect the hourglass, and it's so funny how he's trying to do that. Let's see, Rainbow Station. I want to test the Rainbow Road and see what they're about. Unfinished Mario Circuit. Unfinished. Yeah, I'm gonna play an unfinished track. That's something. If you see a track name that you like, just let me know and I'll play it. Melting New Moon Manor. I want to see what New Moon Manor is about. I think hopefully it's an Odyssey track. I don't know. We'll see. Imagine like a Survivor track. That'd be cool. But it'll just be like a beach track. Oh, this is just some haunted house thing. But yeah, like the odds of BB. Yeah, Ratu got like zero content. We didn't even seem that being said, like to be fair, um, Matthew was not even able to talk to his tribe. That's what we know. And also, if he had, he would have given an idol to Kane apparently. And if he hadn't, then he would have given. If he was forced to talk to everyone in public, he would have given his idol to Carson or Lauren to put a target on them, which is funny. And another problem with Kane is that they didn't even get to show his relationship with Matthew, which is like unfortunate because that would have been really good for Kane's game, because it actually is good for Kane's game, and also we would have got a really interesting brought to tribal council. Let me just on in here. Okay. Oh god, of course I get caught into it. We would have got a really interesting brought to tribal, had they went because it would have been between Lauren and Kane, and it's a question of does Matthew expose himself by going after Lauren or does he let Lauren go? That'll be really interesting to see. That would have been really interesting to see. That is. But as for who's going next, I have no clue. I don't think it's Daniel. I think Danny has some more game left in him at this point. What the heck is my bullet bill? It literally just flew off the track. I literally just got a free ride to like second. That's amazing. But yeah, like Danny's staying. Brandon maybe next. Who knows? Jamie also has a really funny story that's starting to form, which is about her like being really confident and like she's playing the game perfectly and that she's the center of everything, which is obviously going to fall in like a Bradley kind of boot, where she thinks she's playing like an A+ game and then she gets blindsided, right? Oh my god, it is good. And the mod with this game is the boo makes you big every time, so I want to keep it. I don't want to lose it. Oh god. Yeah, could Brandon go next is the question. I think yes. He's had enough content. He had his 14 confessionals in episode 1. He's had everything he needs. Like Josh, where they gave Josh like his content in the Matthew boot. They just gave all of his like backstory and stuff just to like close off his story and let him go the next episode. They've already done that with Brandon multiple times, so I think that, yeah, Brandon can easily be done next episode, and it makes sense too. Like who else could be a next boot? You think about it. Who else can you imagine being the next boot? Franny? No, because Franny and Matthew seem like they're the center of everything right now, so I don't think they're in any trouble for the time being. Maybe like the next two boots, at worst, but maybe like the next three or four is where Franny goes. Especially like I think a really good spot for them to go is the split tribal, where they're split apart and then Franny gets taken out secretly or something like that, like a blind side, or Matt. Those are definitely plausible ways of the game going at this point. And then I think I don't know where Carson's gonna go. I think Heidi's a losing finalist too, potentially. Now that they mentioned it, you talk about losing finalists. You talk about. I don't think Danny's gonna be losing finalist because why would he be? He's gonna get taken out at some point. He's gonna be like this obstacle for somebody along the way. He's like this kind of like remember when Carolyn and Brandon are talking. They're talking about how sorry, not Carolyn. Brandon and Danny are talking, and Carolyn was talking in the middle of it how she's like underestimated or something. I think at that point, like Daniel might be like an obstacle, like a final boss or something for somebody, at some point. So I don't think he's gonna be losing finalist. Neither do I think Brandon is gonna be losing finalist. Brandon is definitely gonna be booted at some point. He's not gonna win. We know that for sure, probably. But Lauren, yeah, Lauren could be a losing finalist if she gets more content. Heidi as well is likely at this point because it was Heidi who was narrating the fact that Josh is in trouble on Soko before they swap. So I think she's gotten her enough content to warrant her getting further as like this underestimated player that just is misunderstood at the end and loses because of it. Warp Pipe Island. Yeah, like Lauren. Yeah, I don't think Lauren's gonna be losing finals. I think she's gonna be taken out like in the next two or few. Kane, could Kane be losing finalist though? And that's completely like we don't know for sure, but it depends on the upcoming episodes that we get to see, like how they're presenting him. And another thing with TMR, who I disagree with on some things, which obviously you can't agree with him on everything, right? There's obviously some things that I think he's wrong on. One thing is like he thinks that the winner always has to be presented as like this flawless, perfect sort of player, and I disagree with that because we saw the Gabler, and obviously like his excuse might be like, oh, but the editors didn't care about Gabler. Of course they did. They were being paid to do the edit. They're not just being like slapping on some like random story. They have to make a story, and yeah, and obviously there's like flaws in many winners. You talk about Erica, who has her flaws, where she's being shown as kind of a goof in the pre-merge phase with Deshaun. You talk about Marianne, who is being called annoying, right? And honestly, some viewers may see her that way because of the way she's being presented. So, and by the way, some viewers did understand Jonathan's point of view with how he was calling her annoying. And like again, Gabler obviously has many flaws, and whoever wins this season is gonna have many flaws. For some reason, I think Kane could be the fire-making loser. That is a really good way to go out as a hero. I think that's really a good way to end his story here. Yeah, 100%. But I'm doing absolutely atrociously in this race, and I'm not even noticing how bad I'm doing. I thought I was driving pretty good, not amazing, but good. Wow, that is what a slap in the face that was. Literally. Yeah, Kane is someone who has like this. Obviously, he's gonna be this hero figure. I don't know. He reminds me of somebody. I just can't name who really, but he definitely reminds me of somebody from the show that we've seen in the past. Kind of reminds me like a Jacob Derwin, but he's definitely way better in every way. Um, what the heck was that? But yeah. As for the upcoming twist, we know Do or Die is probably not going to be a part of the season. Um, there's another advantage apparently that's going to be happening later on. We know Sarah's inheritance advantage is gone, right? That's a good thing, honestly. Bank of Vote is still in the game. Her extra vote, Lauren's extra vote. And by the way, the Bank of Vote idea is a really good idea for like a whole season theme. You have a season where people have the right to just not vote at tribal council, reserve a vote for future tribal councils. You know what I'm talking about? So basically, first tribal council, it's 5 people going, or 6 people in this case, because it's 18-person cast and they're divided in three. So you have people that decide to keep their vote because they feel safe. So they have a second vote for the next tribal council. But if they want, they can keep their other vote for the next tribal council and have third for the three and so on. I think that's actually a good way of playing the game there, like a twist. Just have a season based on that. No idols. Just make it based on that. Revolve around that. I don't know. I would not mind seeing that honestly. Like try it at least once. Back to the 80s. Let's go back to the 80s here. Oh wow, this looks really good. This looks really good. Yeah, you can't help like even I can't help but cheer for Kane. He's such a good guy. He seems so fun, and like I love him just snitching on Carson again. It's so funny that he goes off. He goes off. He's like he just walks off and tells Brandon, "Is my name being thrown? Is this true?" And then Brandon just has to say yes, it's true. This track is beautiful, by the way. Good on the person who made this. Like a vaporwave kind of track. Like whose story would be the most cool to see winning at this point? I think Kane, right? He has like this hero story. You want to see how this plays out. He's definitely an underdog right now. His name was thrown out for tribal council. He was voted by Carolyn, and by the way, Carolyn was on the minority of the vote. Um, which is surprising again. Like, why did they just not loop in Carolyn? Again, this shows how much she's just not respected enough. Like nobody, not even Jam Jam or Carson informed her on this. Yet Carson went out of his way to inform Kane about being split on. That just shows you how out of tune Carolyn is, and how Carson and Jam Jam are almost like done with her at this point. Maybe I'm wrong. We haven't seen everything to know why. Um, by the way, expect a live tribal council soon, probably. I would expect it. Yeah, it's just surprising that like they did not tell Carolyn, okay, we're splitting the vote, we changed our plan. It's like why? Why are you gonna let her go back to camp angry like that? Oh my god, how did I just get screwed that hard? See, this is like Survivor. You race really good, you take all the like, right lines, and you can get still taken out by like a twist or some stupid thing, just like that. Even though I was driving in the middle of the road, so that's my fault kind of. And obviously now that again, things come at different times. Timing is so important, and that's why it's so hard to win Survivor. It's like anybody can win, especially with the format now. Um, like I think back in Survivor Borneo with no twists and stuff, it's much easier to just play a predictable game and win because it's pretty much all in your hands. But with twists and like idols and stuff, even idols in the way they're hidden is luck. Let me get that. Let me get. Oh no! Dang it! I was gonna try to get her to get the cloud. You think Carson is fourth? It's I can see Carson or Kane being fourth. And by the way, welcome back to the stream, Raccoon. Um, if you want to hop on, you can hop on right now. We can talk if you want to talk about Survivor. If anyone really wants to. But yeah, like Carson being fourth is plausible. Anybody really being fourth, even Heidi being fourth is plausible. But I can imagine Heidi being like this figure that beats one of Carson like her underdog story culminates in beating Carson or one of these big figures in a challenge, and then she just loses the game. Like that's the end of her story, right? I can easily see that be seeing that be how that goes. Mushroom Mountain, Castle of Time, White Garden. These names are really interesting. Some of them are just downright garbage. Christmas Mayhem. Let's see how bad this is gonna be. Okay, this looks god awful so far. Okay, actually, looks no, it looks good. I'm gonna stop hating that. Why is everyone just going one lane? They just all push me in that one direction. It's so funny. Okay. Okay. Oh my god. Can you go in here? No, you can't. But yeah. Um, Carson. I hope he doesn't win because I just am rooting for other people. Like I'd rather have Carolyn or Jam Jam win. And speaking of Jam Jam, like a lot of people are complaining about, oh, Jam Jam's getting a bad edit now. I disagree. I think it's just part of his character. Like, why would they not show what he's doing right now? They kind of have to at this point. And he's obviously being viewed as like the big threat because Carson painted him as one, but they still didn't vote him out. I think he had a fairly good episode for being a target of the merge, and obviously we don't see many people that are targeted the merge win, right? Like usually being targeted the merge, like it kind of sets a tone for like how your game's gonna go. If you vote in the majority, you will probably do better than someone who's voting in the minority. You're just set up better, and you have an advantage in the game. And Jam Jam did vote in the minority, but he was also being targeted. Thank God he barely even got votes against him. I think there was only one person left in the game who actually voted against him. And what the what the hell is that, bro? What the hell is this? This track is garbage. This track is like garbage. I please shock right now. Please shock right now. See again, Survivors. You can the worst players can win. Look how bad I'm playing and I'm still in third. You can always pull off an upset. That's the metaphor for Survivor. And the blue shell is obviously just a metaphor for like an idol. Take out the people in charge. Take out the people in the lead ahead. And the red shell is someone waiting at the end to snipe someone of their game, like Matt was gonna do, Matty against George in Australian Survivor. Yeah, the thing is, like, what do you disagree with him on about the immunity idols and idols Radio Ranger? Because I do agree partially with his thing. Is like, okay, if you can rely on, that's amazing. Stop. That's terrible. But yeah, if you can rely on not only your like if you don't need to fall back on your challenge ability and you can completely rely on your ability to like convince people of stuff, that's way better than winning challenges in my opinion. Because challenges are just so variable. Um, Whereas your position in the game, you have much more control over. You don't have control over what challenge is being played. And by the way, that's another aspect of luck and survival is the challenges, the order in which they're played, what's chosen, what's not, what's scrapped. It all impacts everything. But yeah, TMR's philosophy on survival, like voting majority, is like why? Why does that matter? 100, like not all, like sometimes voting minority is a good thing, and that's like, I don't know what he means by like voting majority. Maybe he means this, but like sometimes you're voting minority intentionally to split the vote, or you're voting in the minority to throw someone off on who you're voting, like a witch hunt, setting off a witch hunt. Like these things might actually matter in some aspects. You never know, and so like with that respect, like these stats don't matter. Some of them. Nostalgic Bowser's Castle, no. I already played that one. It was not good. Nostalgic Rainbow Road, we'll play that. Okay, this looks good. We'll see what this is. But yeah, the Marine review, he has some good takes. He has some bad takes. In my opinion. Again, he might think my takes are bad. And you might think my takes are bad. You might agree with him, which is fine. Because at the end of the day, the debate is about how do you best optimize your chance of winning the game by getting to the end. And playing dominantly is not a lot of people's best way. Can you imagine Carolyn trying to dominate Brandon and Danny's game is laughable. You can't do that. It's too hard. Like you have to rely on some other aspects of the game, which is like playing under the radar and stuff like that. You have to factor these in. Like not everyone can play the game you want to play. TMR can't even play the game that he's talking about. You think TMR can go around and boss Brandon around about what to do? Like not boss, but like control what Brandon's philosophy in the game is and stuff. Like no, you can't do that. It's funny. Like TMR is if he goes on, that was bull. That was what happened to me just right now. That was not even my fault. That was laughable. But like TMR, like he has to go out there and he has to play like Cochran or something. Like he can't play. And again, Cochran, people might argue, okay, he played good, but like he has to go out there and play like Zach or something, like but he has to play better than that. And obviously, it's not gonna be a dominant game, but he optimizes his chances of winning based on who you are. You have to remember that when you go on the show, if you ever want to play, you're basically optimizing your chance of winning based on who you are and how you can play to those strengths that you have. It's not about dominating the game. There's not one way to win the game, and that's what you gotta know. In my opinion, that's what the truth is. Look, if Bryce can win if Bryce can win a speed, then look, you can win playing Bryce's game technically in Survivor. Yeah, but the thing is, the idols were arguably rigged for him. To be fair, so I do agree with TMR in the sense that okay, the idols are bull in that sense because they're hiding it where he looks. Right? Wasn't that the case? And the fire making challenge, I don't care what anybody says, that was clearly made to help Ben. And anyone who offends production in that is a shill. They're a shill. But like Ben did impressive things other than that. That is like often overlooked is like the when he was playing spy for two sides. That was really good. That was impressive, and that was actually one of the best parts of his game. But then you look at the idols, and that's just bad because he was not able to position himself well near the end. And again, Ben did not play a dominant game, so and he won. So that's just another example of a winning game there. Ben clearly did not play a dominant game because he couldn't even control the end game there. And even like the most recent winner in Survivor is Liz, right? And Liz did not dominate the end game one bit. Again, what is that? Did you just see that, guys? That was not even fair. Like George played the most dominant game and he lost because he can't win a final challenge, right? That was his blue shell. That was his blue shell. It came in at the last second. He was leading the game by a wide margin, and then you have a bunch of CPU, easy CPU pass him as he gets blue shelled like three times. Yeah, and like Liz's game is whatever. Boo York Park. That is a creative name. I'm gonna play that based on just that, the name alone. And an interesting debate no one's gonna bother having is who's better, Jerry or Matt. Like nobody in the like the Twitterverse is gonna talk about it, but it'll be fun to like see what people think about it. Have I listened to George's deep dive? I completely forgot that was a thing, but I want to watch it now. Thank you for reminding me. I'm gonna watch that soon. Thank you so much because I heard a lot of things about that, like how he's like talking down on Matt's game or something, or and talking down on like was it like who Mimi or someone? That was really interesting. To see him like talk down on these people's games, and also like the Jury Villa when George is talking about. Sorry, yeah, George is like praising Jerry's game is really interesting. Tells you where his mind was at, and I guess TMR's philosophy on the game was correct in that aspect because George does agree with TMR in the fact that Jerry did play a good game. But the most respectable thing about George, in my opinion, is that he's not only able to play a good game, but he's able to put on a good show. And that's something that a lot of people. The fact that he's able to put his game on the line to put on a good show while still playing a good game at the same time is such a respectable thing. It's like Cass. Cass is also able to. I'm not saying she's a good player. I'm just saying the people that put their game on the line to produce a good show. I respect that. Oh yeah, he was talking down Frasier and Sarah for not watching that much Survivor. That is something. Was he talking down on them? Okay, the question is, was he talking down on them on the island? Because I don't think that's the case. Obviously, he's not that dumb. But yeah, outside of the game, obviously, Frasier's a bit of an issue there. Sarah was clearly on for personal gain or something. I don't know. And the like propagator story about like pushing Miss Universe or something like that, which is hilarious. Miss Universe Australia or something. And by the way, of the people on that cast, my favorite is obviously Stevie. Stevie is a legend of the game. So fun. I think George is way better than Russell. In some aspects, yes. In the challenge aspect, definitely not, which is the problem that he can't get to the end with the challenges, and that's an issue. But that debate is really close to me. Like where I think that like some of the Russell's games are arguably better. Like you can argue that it's better, like Samoa, and even Heroes or Villains you can argue is better. How'd I get third? But then obviously Australian Survivor runs are absolutely garbage, and even Stevie is probably a better player than Russell Hans is in the Australian Survivor sphere, obviously. Which is funny to say that Stevie's better. Oh yeah, Sarah was accused of pushing Miss Grease. Yeah, and I like how her big revelation is not anything about the game when she's leaving. It's oh, by the way, guys, I did not actually push Miss Grease down the stairs. That is so funny. That just shows you how much her head was in the game. Wario's Cosmic Construction. That is an interesting name. By the way, Wario in a Mario Galaxy game would be epic. Wow, this looks fun. Why can't Nintendo make tracks like these? Like, be this creative. Come on. Add to the Mario lore. Come on. Like, all we know is that Daisy owns a cruise line, which is interesting, but still. And that Waluigi is like a pinball machine that is really grand sized. This is really good. This is a really good track. Phenomenal. And BB Can, like, what is there even to talk about in BB Can? Like, BB Can is good, but I don't even know what to talk about there. What that, yeah, they just do it for the money, which is, we obviously heard that in the first, like, what, 10 seconds of the match. The premiere is Johnny's like, okay, I'm here because inflation. It's funny. And honestly, like, if you cast people that are driven by money, then that's not a bad thing because they're gonna try even harder to win. Like, I don't know why Survivor cast so many like elitists in many ways. Like, cast some of these poor people on the streets. Like, find people on the streets, find entertaining people on the streets, put them on the show, and see what they do to win. See how much they lie. That'd be so fun to watch. Just do like a Survivor season like themed after homeless people, and that's true. And don't even pay them for appearing. Don't even pay them for appearing. It has to be their will. They have to sign a contract. I don't even know if this is like is actually like following legal stipulations or anything, but like they have to sign a contract where they're like agreeing to not get paid, and the only pay they'll get is if they win or if they win like a reward or something like that. And that is their way of motivating them to actually try instead of oh I have to make it a jury and then oh my stipend will increase. No, that's not how you do it. Even BB, BB. Where are we going? Okay, what the heck? Oh, there's a shortcut here. Okay, that's interesting. Thanks for showing me that, donkey. Donkey! There you go, donkey. Yeah, I like the casting themes, which I don't know when Survivor's gonna even consider doing that again. Like, will they even? Because they're just naming it numerically at this point, which is unfortunate because there's so many different themes you can do. Like, even just bring back some old ones. And another issue is like the modern casting, they don't want to portray people as villains or something. Even though the show is inherently about like lying and stuff, which is funny that they're not doing it, but like why aren't they just doing a Heroes of Villains Returning season? Like just do that. That's what everyone wants. And that's gonna get the viewership up like crazy. And then you got other returning style seasons as well, like old school versus new school, which is I think a really good idea for modern day because we're talking about the new era. Bringing back old players and then calling it old school versus new school would be really interesting and something that I think the show would actually benefit from, because you'll get the old viewer base back too, with like classic returnees that are memorable. Musical Cliff, Cosmo Garden. Cosmo Garden sounds interesting. Jeff said he wants super fans. Yeah, I know. But the Australian Survivor producer said no, they don't want super fans, which is funny. It's such a different viewpoint. But yeah, there's so many ways about going on doing a returning season that I hope they make a good one. I hope they come with a good theme, and I hope they don't mess up with the game too much, like Edge of Extinction or anything. I know that Edge Extinction was like what was their way of getting um some of the people to come back, like Rob, who wanted EOE to have a chance at winning the game. Like the only way he was ever going to win the game was through EOE. He was never going to win the game by staying there throughout the entire season, and you can't blame him for that. It's just his threat level is way too high, right? Like the only way Rob would have won Winners of War was if he came back at Final Five, in place of Natalie Anderson, and he had his idol obviously, and he was able to win one of the two immunity challenges and play his idol in succession, win fire making, taking out Tony, and then win the game because he would have won the game at that point. I think. I think. By the way, I asked Ethan this on AMA on his Reddit AMA, and he said Rob had a good chance if he did this. So I would think that that was only Rob's only pathway, which is easier said than done. By the way, winning a challenge, I think he could have won the BMAC challenge that Tony won at Final Five or something, and then played his idol at Final. Sorry, Final Six, and then won plays idol at Final Four. Yeah, without EOE, there is no winners at war because some of the winners won't even agree to it because they know they're screwed. They're done. They know it. Unless you want to get like worse winners back that production doesn't even like. But we know that like Richard Hatch and Tina were going to be called. Which by the way, I wish that happened. Both of them are iconic characters. Um, and would have brought a lot of people back. But yeah, you get what you get. You don't get upset, I guess. And they didn't want older people on or something. Or I don't know. Maybe there's a rumor about like Richard Hatch and the dance wheel situation coinciding, so they didn't want to have those two like offset each other. That would have been bad. That would have been a bad look. Can't blame him. It would have been a really bad look to have Richard Hatch on after the Sue situation when we had the Dan Spilo situation as well. But yeah, like the fire token on itself, like on its own merit, is not a bad idea in my opinion. Like if you want to make it like work hard for what you want, then make the fire token a means of getting food or something, and have that be like a whole season theme as well. Because the fire token is inherently a good idea without the EOE, it could work really well. Where the EOE players can't influence the game from outside of it. It's dumb. It's so stupid. Molten Mountain Way. We'll play that. I'll get like five more races and then we'll call it a scrim. I guess I don't know because it's been fun. It's actually been this is a like nice test trial. And Radio Ranger has been really contributing to the chat by the way. Thank you, Radio Ranger, the new mod with his questions. But yeah, like I hope the next season has something interesting. Imagine a returning season with fire tokens, but the problem is like pre-game relationships can really screw things up. And that's the big problem with the pre-game relationships. Where at the point like with Winners of War, they had to show the flashback of the Poker Alliance, which was I would never have expected that. That they show something from out of the show, on the show, like content from another sort of entertainment. Yeah, they should have done it on 41 with a test drive for the. I went the wrong way. As a test drive with the newbies, and they could have experimented with how they do it. Like with no EOB, how do you do it? What can it be used for? Advantages? No. Maybe not have it be used for advantages. Maybe like have it be used for food items or something. Um, and I know food items seems lame, but like at the end of it, like it can really be interesting. But even with advantages, like have people work together to uh, combine fire tokens so you have a shared advantage. That's interesting as well. And by the way, another thing that I don't know why they're not bringing back is the Korong Super Idol twist. That should just be a staple at this point. That was a genius idea. Having someone trust someone else so much that they share idols and form a super idol would be amazing. And to see that happen again, because it was such a good, it played out so well on Korong with Ty and Scott and Jason or Kyle, however way you want to say it. Like that would have been that plays so well. What the heck is this track by the way? The layout is so even the CPUs are off track. Um, yeah, and the auction is something that I honestly don't care about, but it's something that a lot of the fans love, and even the casuals love as well. But again, I understand where Jeff's coming from. Is like it's like so easy to break. No one's even gonna buy anything. Like at that point, you might as well just say, okay, there's no advantages here, or have the advantage be the first item, and then have the food items be the rest of the items. But the auction is something that I can honestly live without. Unpopular opinion, I know. But like the Super Idol called Wrong Twist, it's like why are you leaving that away? Like why are you pushing that back? That's such a good idea. It was such a good idea. They did it only for one season. They just removed it. Maybe it's because because they're hiding so many idols. Like soon, someone's gonna find two idols and just have a super idol and be OP for the rest of the game. But like the way to fix that, just have less idols. Just hide less idols then. But the super idol twist is a fun, really good idea. Yeah, or have the advantages hidden in the food items. That is a good idea as well because that's an easy way of fixing the game. Or now people are motivated to just buy food and look inside them. Oh my god. Like we know about the Jonathan fish, the fish idol or fish clue or whatever that was in there. It was a little clue, a little scroll that he missed, and that was funny because how much they were like pitching it. The guy was pitching and like hoping that would happen, and then and it finally happens, but it's just like this guy Jonathan who's like tearing the fish apart. Um, like he throws it aside like it's nothing. And I like the way I like Just podcast by the way. I like what he's doing with it. He's giving us insight into how the show works, and I just appreciate. Even though I've not been listening to the last ones, but I just like the idea of it. And I like that he started off with announcing that Bruce is coming back, which, by the way, is so unsurvivor. Um, they love to keep their cast hidden and not like reveal anything, and now they just outright confirm Bruce is coming back at some point, which is surprising. They've never done this before, right? Actually, well, they kind of have done this before, where they said we're gonna have Carolyn back at some point, 100%, but they obviously lied about that, right? So Carolyn never came back uh, from Worlds Apart. Oh no, he's gonna do the podcast next season. This is gonna be a staple because we can tell Jeff loves this thing. He loves having this like show revolved around him like this. He likes me. He just look at the show and look at the way he talks to the cast. He loves like making it so complex and like convoluted the way he talks about it. It's like, oh, this is such an important event. This is a game changing event. This is changing history. You now have the opportunity to reverse, whatever. Like he loves this kind of stuff. He likes making the show like a podcast for himself. And so he's obviously loving this, and he's gonna keep it if it does well. Obviously, this is like his thing. Royal Rainbow. Are we just gonna be racing on Saturn? Oh no, this actually looks cool. This looks really good. Yeah, I think Carolyn's past her time. She like her time's past. It's over. Which just shows you how good Jeff's word is. Not only does he lie to the players in game, but he lies to people out of the game as well. And another thing with like the earn a merge thing is like I know this is such a common thing that's been said is like why is it called earn the merge? You already earned the merge by surviving enough votes or winning enough challenges to make it to the merge. So you've objectively earned the merge at that point. Like why do you have to have this like extra thing? This stupid thing. I died. Um to decide if you are worthy enough to make it the merge or not. But we have to acknowledge the fact that I know TMR disagrees with me on this, but it's not the merge because they haven't. The production team is not considered the official merge. So I'm just gonna go with the official thing the production's saying at that point, even though it obviously looks like a merge. It's not a merge. But he's just gonna say, oh, if everyone votes together and they're all at the same tribal council or on the same beach together, then it's a merge. Yeah, I can understand his argument, and it could go either way. But we're just playing semantics here at this point. Like you're just arguing about the terminology used. It's like, okay, is it the merge or is it just a pre-merge at this point? But if we have a pre-merger season, Sydney, Josh, if they come back, they're going to be considered pre-mergers. So by definition, they are not a merge. They're not a merge boot. Oh God. Honestly, I'm kind of happy that Josh went out where he did because him, to be honest, like him staying, if you won the game after like surviving because Matthew got medevac, that would be really something. I'm glad that he went out, even though also like he's well off anyways. Like this guy's a surgeon, so Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm driving like the characters in the Mario movie are. But so far, the returnees of this season, we're getting Bruce 100% apparently. And Bruce was invited on the podcast. If he's not invited at some point, then Jeff's just gonna look bad. So he has to put on Bruce, right? Um, I'll get to your question real quick, but like Matthews definitely someone that I would like to see back. Even the other both Matthews are great returning candidates. Franny not so much. We'll see how much she gets more content or not remaining. Carson, whatever. I'd rather see Bradley personally, but um, Kane, I'd like to see if he gets more content. Claire, I'm not opposed to, even though I'm not a fan. Which is like, why? Why are you saying you're not a fan, but you won't be opposed to her returning? You're a fan then. No, it's just because I think it's a fun character to root against. Even Maddie, I don't mind. Like, pretty much all the pre-mergers, I don't mind. Bruce, I don't mind. Carolyn, obviously. Jam Jam are obviously people that I would not mind having back. Actually, no. Sarah, I don't. I would retract that. Helen and Sarah, I do not care to see back. Those are the boring teacup people. And by the way, the other Star 43 and 44, up to this point, I don't know. I actually like 43's ending though. We'll have to see how the ending for this goes. But I like the Gabler winning. I like the storyline there. And it was just like such an up and down story, and Gabler was so funny. But yeah, I think at this point I probably do like the season more. I guess, but there's not like anybody that I'm really rooting for 100%, like as much as I was last season. So I don't know. It's tough. Super Bowl circuit. We'll do Pauline circuit and Super Bowl circuit. They should do Americans versus Canadians. Yeah, I don't mind that, but again, I'd like to see American Survivor players versus Australian Survivor players. That'd be even more fun. And it'd be hosted by Australian Survivor because Survivor US does not want to do that. So, like, I'd love to see George on Survivor US, but I don't think it's gonna happen. But I'd love to see him play. He'd do terrible, by the way, but it'll be fun. And it's not because I want him to do terrible. It's just probably gonna be the case. Like he'd be amazing TV. And I'd like to see Simon and George on Australian Survivor US versus Australia would be amazing. This is a good track. Oh god, that was terrible. But with just newbies, yeah, I know you're trying to say that, but like I don't really care about the like US versus Canada thing that much. Like they're pretty much kind of have the same culture at that point. I'd rather see like a returning style thing for this with US and Australia. But like if we get a Canada, half American season, I would not mind. But like of the themes that were offered to Jeff and stuff, I'd rather see back to basics. Even Republicans versus Democrats would be funnier. Like I'd rather see those things. Even though at this point in this political climate, they're never gonna do Republican versus Democrat season. They're never gonna do that because it'd just be a bad look, and it'd be so like it's just not a good look at all for the show. Especially since the show is like trying to like I don't know. It's just not his thing at this point. It could have been a good thing before, and in fact, Jeff likes the idea. Oh, I would love that to be the case, Radio Ranger. But I heard that the producers like, okay, we want to make a name for ourselves first. We don't want to be too tied with the Australian U.S. Survivor before we actually do a season like this. Which is like, I'm sorry, but you're literally casting people from U.S. Survivor. Why do you expect to be seen as anything else? You're obviously gonna be tied to U.S. Survivor when you're casting Sandra, it's Russell. Like I don't know what they're thinking. But yeah, to see like Simon interact with people like Shan would be fun to watch. I'd like to see that. Like that'd be such an interesting world to be seeing the game played. And that's actually a season I think Sandra would actually return for. By the way, Honestly, I think Sandra would return for pretty much any season, but that'd be fun to see her come back as both somehow. That was Pauline Circuit, and that had absolutely no undertones of Pauline at all in it. Nothing. I did not see a single aspect of Pauline in that track. That was just a basic city track. That was god awful. Okay, this looks cool. Yeah, but who would even be cast on the U.S. Survivor side of Australian Survivor versus uh, American Survivor? I think probably like Shan would be something that I would consider. Omar would be fine. Rick Devens, and then at that point, you could like put in like somebody. Oh wow, Kagoombas. Like sneak in who? Sneak in like a underdog pick. I guess like a Sydney would be funny. I guess Gabler would be funny too. They're never bringing Gabler back though, aren't they? I actually would think that Gabler would be liked by Jeff, but he's not apparently. Like Gabler seems like the veteran thing that he did. It seems like something that Jeff would absolutely love and cream himself over. But nope, he wanted Cassidy to win apparently. It's funny. Are you gonna watch Survivor UK? No, probably not. Realistically, no. One sec. All right. All right. I think I'm back. Yeah, I'm back. Okay. Yeah, like what is Survivor UK gonna be about though? Like, is it gonna be like just back to basics or whatever? Like, I'm not opposed to seeing it if it's good. Like, if the promos are good or something, I don't mind. But at this point, I kind of like set on Australian Survivor and US Survivor being my favorites. Like, I'm not I would not mind watching South Africa, right? Especially Rob season because I know he's being like praised as like this all time player. But I wish like Survivor US took more chances on like some underdog male players. Like they take so much chances on like people like Kelly Wentworth and stuff, and they get it right. But I wish they would take like a risk on like Bradley or something. Like bring it back and give him a chance, like James from Ghost Island. I wish they'd take more risks with the male players. They just are so set in like, okay, we want this person because they probably think that the male players are better. Like they have much more locked people. But then they want to experiment more with the female players. So, oh my God, look at that. That's Soraya right there for you. 1 second you're first, and next second everyone flips and you're last or fifth in my case. Can you cover Amazing Race Canada and I for the channel? Possibly, yeah. I don't mind. If that's something you want to generally do. If you want to cover even Amazing Race, I don't mind. um, yeah. 1 second. All right, gonna play this as my last race and then call it. I guess. But I'll take in last questions and we can talk about it, that kind of stuff. Let's play. Let's pick one more. Defino Isle sounds interesting. Snowbourne Valley. District 65. These are cool names. I like them all. Yeah, go on then. What does that even mean? Bowser's Termination State. Bob on Raceway sounds cool. I'm gonna play that. But yeah, you can do you can do Amazing Race if you want. You can do anything. I don't even mind having you on like action on the show. Oh, Bob on Battlefield. This is gonna be really cool. Iconic. But yeah. Amazing Race. I don't even know when it's coming out. Is it coming out this year? Like soon? Is it coming out like later in the fall? Isn't it like one a year? Or was there at 1.2 a year? Is a question. I don't know. That is something Brits say. Oh, was this something I said or something? Or are you just quoting me? Oh god. Oh god. This is good. I like this track. This is actually a really good track. They made a iconic track, something fun to drive, which is surprising. Amazing Race Canada is this summer. What about Amazing Race US? Is it this summer or is it um sorry, is it this fall or is it like in the next few weeks or something? Is it like two a year or is it like one a year? Oh god. There you go. This track drives well. This is probably my favorite track so far. It's really creative. It makes a good platforming level, a racing level, and it's hard to do that. And it stays true to its original form. By the way, this is like a Mario Kart commentary, and then also a reality show commentary. Once a year. Yeah, that's not surprising, and it's probably getting in September, right? I think it was two times a year before. I'm probably wrong, by the way, because I'm not an Amazing Race super fan or anything. I just watch it casually. But you know what they should bring back to drive up viewers? A reality showdown. That would be amazing. That would be something. That's what they should be doing, by the way. Like it's popular. It's their main shows. They already have a cast. They have a pool of people to take from, and it's gonna do well. Oh, that makes sense. And by the way, about BBUS returning seasons, it's only bad because the people they cast, in my opinion. Also, like kind of like the way it went down. Like you can have a good returning BB season. It's just they don't like really try. But yeah, reality showdown would be amazing, especially with the options you have now. Like Dominic and Wendell would be amazing. Um, I would love to see Brad and JD personally. That would be such a fun pick. It's like Brett and Chris kind of in a way. This is unexpected pick. Like Brad would be amazing on a racing race. Can you imagine running around like looking at clues and like just it would be amazing. It would be certainly amazing, and it would be a race, and it'd be Brad. So perfect. There we go. All right, that's pretty much Mario Kart, and yeah, gonna end the stream here. Thank you guys for watching so much, and see you guys tonight on TMR stream if you're showing up. Thank you very much. Bye bye.